Hey YouTube, this is going to be a really long video. I have 20 minutes of battles, and those battles are going to follow what is going to be an in-depth analysis for Ember versus Fire Spin on Ninetales, Dynamic Punches versus Psychic on Medicham, and Powder Snow versus Shadow Claw on Sandslash. So I'm going to do that at the beginning, timestamps below for each of those, and then I'm timestamps for battles. I think it's an important conversation to have. So let's just start with Kanto Ninetales. So I built up this Kanto Ninetales because I already have a Shadow Ninetales that has Fire Spin, Weather Ball, and I prefer Overheat to Scorching Sands on that one. And what it comes down to is this. So Fire Spin versus Ember. With Fire Spin, you get, so it's a half, so Fire Spin's a half second, it's a 3-turn move instead of a 2-turn move. And you get 10 energy compared to 6 energy. And it's basically, when you work that out as an equation, it's 6.67 energy per second compared to only 6 for Ember. But Ember gets that extra 1.2 damage per second. So as you're seeing, I'm just going to cover my face for a second. As you're seeing on the movesets here, Ember, if you're going to be slower energy charging, the chances that you get to a overheat is very, very slim. So for the most part, you just take that extra Ember damage with Weather Ball, and now Scorching Sands as a nice second move. Psyshock is what most people used before. If I'm using Fire Spin, would prefer Overheat because it's still decent damage. 7.2 damage per second is still a good damage. 6.67 is slightly better. It's not even amazing. It's like a ton better, but it's enough to make a difference. And that's when I would use Overheat on Ninetales. Having now used both, I don't think I can go back to Fire Spin in the short term, and here's why. The main issue is the current state of the meta. For the most part, you have so let me just put it this way. You can win going Ember and Weather Ball against Lickitung straight up. I have that matchup coming up. And I think you do very well against Medicham as well if you either shield up a Psychic or if they don't have Power Punch, or you shield up a Psychic properly, you will win that matchup too. So having that extra Ember damage helps you flip some of the main meta there, which I think is more important than being able to potentially land an Overheat on something. Medicham with Psychic versus Dynamic Punch. So I've mentioned this multiple times on this channel over the past couple weeks. Dynamic Punch is actually 5 energy less than Psychic and 5 more damage. So you have a better, so way more, not way more, but 2.16 damage per energy, 1.85 damage per energy there. So again, let me just talk about the damage per energy, because someone's like, isn't it just the like 40 divided by 55 or 55 divided by 85 for these? It's like, no, because the damage per energy also factors in stab, which is same type attack bonus. So on Psychic, because Medicham is a Psychic and fighting, you get a same type of attack bonus. So for example, 50 energy divided by 90, or 90 divided by 50, I should say, it's like what, 1.8, something like that. But the damage per energy is 2.16 because there's a stab associated with it. Whereas opposed to if you go to Ice Punch, 40 divided by 55 or 55 divided by 40 is the 1.38, essentially the damage, because that is what it gets to. That is essentially what it is, just divided because it's non-stab move. So that's that. So Dynamic Punch, Psychic, both stab because it is a Psychic fighting Pokemon. The damage per energy is way more Dynamic Punch. What it comes down to, and I won because of Dynamic Punch, and I lost because of Dynamic Punch. For me, Dynamic Punch was way better in 90% of the matchups. In particular, because you actually have something to throw at steals now. And so like Sandslash, you're going to one-shot. Steelix, Registeel, those things that you were throwing, like resisted. I mean, Steelix, you can hit neutral with Ice Punch, but Registeel, where you had to throw like resisted Ice Punch or Psychic, you're now like one-shotting. Plus, Lickitung is one of the main safe swaps there. Where it hurts, and it hurt big because they're everywhere, is the mirror match, because then you can only throw a non-stab Ice Punch while they're throwing a stab Psychic. It takes 2 Psychics to take you out, a Medicham mirror match out, it takes like 4 Ice Punches. So you just lose that matchup. You will also have now more problems against Ghost. Because, again, you're not seeing, I haven't seen a ton of like Cofagrigus or something like that. But the main Ghost that you're going to have a problem with is Frostlass. Because now you're throwing, I mean, Ghost, I'm pretty sure Ghost double resist fighting, but it's also an ice, so it's going to be end up single resisting fighting, and you're going to lose that matchup anyway, so it's not a huge deal. But basically against Ghost, you now have to rely on your Ice Punch. So there's a couple matchups where Dynamic Punch hurt me, and I got, another example is Azumarill as a fairy, right? The fairy is the other one, where fairy is just going to resist all the fighting moves. So Azumarill, where you actually do not have a bad matchup with Psychic on Azumarill, you're just going to get destroyed. So it really depends what you're seeing in your range. I really like Dynamic Punch, but you will see some losses against the Mirror Match Medi with this. Sandslash, this is another one I just built up. That's why I've spent 800,000 dust. Oh, yeah, I spent 800,000 dust because I had Ember on this Kanto Ninetales, but I had not built this up, so I had to build up a full Shadow. I had to build up this now 71413 to level 49.5 Medi, as opposed to my level 51 4 attack, because I wanted to see the higher attack. I do like the higher attack. And I did not have an Sandslash Shadow built up at all. I don't have the one with Claw built, but I built up one with Powder Snow. And what's the difference between Powder Snow and Claw? Nothing. Same. Why does it say the Claw? It's interesting because it says, I'm pretty sure it's the same. Maybe that's just a typo there. It says 5 damage for Powder Snow, but I'm pretty sure it is 6 damage for Powder Snow. And let me just confirm with PV Poke, because I think that's an error. I'm pretty sure Powder Snow... No, Powder Snow is 5, 8, 2 turn fast move, damage per energy is 2.5 on the thing, and then 4 energy per second. So I guess there's an error here, and Shadow Claw is 68235. Okay, so I guess there is an error. So I guess there is a difference. So it looks like you have 1 less damage per second, but the same energy per second. I don't know why that says DPS of 6 when it should be a DPS of 5. So Powder Snow is a little worse from that perspective. However, again, it all comes down to matchups here. And what I had found in this meta is, where is the Shadow Claw going to be beneficial compared to where is the Powder Snow going to be beneficial? So, meta currently, where it helps to have Powder Snow: Gligar, Lickitung, Umbreon, just any flyer in general, any normal typing in general, because the claws would be resisted. Darks in general, because it would be resisted. So Powder Snow definitely has play here. Has less play, and it's worse in the mirror match. I think I put that in here. You're going to see a mirror match loss because they can claw me for neutral, and I'm like double resisted on the steel and ice. So that was rough. Any just pure steel, Registeel, stuff like that will now resist your ice. And you will not be hitting super effective on Psychics and Ghosts anymore, right? So the Medicham, you don't get super effective. Again, you're going to get killed by Medicham anyways, but you won't hit super effective with the Claw there. Defense Deoxys, Cresselia, stuff like that. That's a trade-off. Again, in these matchups, I had some good wins with Powder Snow, and I had some tough issues with Powder Snow. So I've got 20 minutes of battles here. I did quite... Again, this team has some flaws because I'm running Dynamic Punch. Like, Azumarill is kind of an issue. Azumarill's an issue only if it has Hydro Pump, actually, because if it only has Ice Beam and Play Rough, Sandslash and Ninetales actually resist every single one of those movesets. So it's actually not a bad matchup against Azumarill. Like Lantern, I was supposed to say, another problem with Sandslash is Lantern, because now a water Pokemon, you're throwing resisted Powder Snows instead of neutral Shadow Claws. All that said, let's look at how this plays out. So I won the lead there. As you can see, like normally if I was a fire spin, I'd already be able to move. But those embers are adding up. And as you can see here, the powder snows are doing neutral now as opposed to being resisted as they normally would be on a dark type Pokemon. So get this Ice Punch off. This is my first time also using a Shadow Ace Slash. The rest of them have been just a regular Ace Slash, and the Shadow difference is significant. So you definitely feel that. Get off this Ice Punch because again, one Drone won't take out, and I think they're just gonna go for a farm down. I do get the lag there, as you saw. That was just a frame drop that I had to move, but I got frame dropped out of it. So I will shield just to get this off because this will take it out, or I'll grab a shield right back, and I do take it out, so that's beautiful. Charizard comes in. I'm going to come in here because I'm already at a move, and basically what I wanted to do is resist it or not. Again, this Ember is actually going to start chipping here, and as you see, like, that is great. I make a smart play. They were not going to let me get to another Weather Ball, and they were just going to try to take me out with the Dragon Claw because I'm so low. I catch that Dragon Claw on Medi, get to the Ice Punch. This will take out, so they have to burn their last shield, or they just go down. Well, because I was out of Weather Ball anyway, so that would have taken out. Umbreon. Again, you can kind of stay in. I stay in with anything unless it's a terrible matchup. A Fire Spin Weather Ball combo would do nothing to an Umbreon, but as you're seeing with the Embers are actually adding up. And the problem is Umbreon's so tanky that between Ember and Weather Ball, it's not going to be anywhere near enough. But because the energy is actually not significantly lower compared to Fire Spin, but the damage is much more, getting this Umbreon down to a red, you're going to lose anyways, because Umbreon's just so tanky and you're pretty glassy as a Shadow. Getting it down to that is actually quite good. And here we go. This is where it helps, right? You have a normal typing Wigglytuff that I can now hit neutral with Powder Snows. I decide at this point I have 2 shields. Let's just farm down. The charms are resisted. I think coming out with a bunch of energy is going to be huge here. And I remember this matchup. This was like an all-star matchup because now I'm like, okay, I'm loaded from the Umbreon. I can take this out. They sacrifice it. And out comes, after this, a Shadow Charm A9 against a Medi and a super low Sandslash, where I'm now throwing resisted Powder Snows instead of neutral Shadow Claws. I bait. I come in here immediately. I'm still running Psychic. Why am I still running Psychic on this? Maybe I ran Psychic with... I definitely changed to... maybe I did a couple with Psychic, and then I changed to Dynamic Punch for this video, sort of thing. I bait the Ice Punch. I now get another Ice Punch off because know that I just need to chip this into red range. So now I can get this off for the win. Shadow on Shadow resisted, still win. So take out what is a very tough alignment there. Here we go. Lickitung. This is one that now with this Ember, you can basically just win straight. The Embers are doing way more damage than the Fire Spin, which now takes this into very easy Ember Weather Ball two-shot range that a Fire Spin Weather Ball could not. So I showed up one. I would live that. But I get this Weather Ball off. This will take out unless they shield. They do shield. I think they're going to get to the move before me, but I will probably let it go if I remember, and I will shield. No, sorry, I will not shield. I will throw the move, and I win the one shield against the Lickitung with Ember. So huge improvement there. They end up shielding. That's fine. Huge improvement for me there. Now I have Dynamic Punch on. This is my new one. They get off a Power Whip. That is fine. I take that. What do they have? So here we go, a Cress. So here's where the Powder Snow is worse, but again, it's still a Cress, right? So Cress is resisted. Cress moves are resisted. I don't throw. Another Steel, so here's where having Shadow Claw would be better. But Shadow Drill Run still should be enough to take out. Is it enough to take out, or they get to move? No, enough to take out. Now I have a shield, and Crest can only throw resisted moves, so I win that. Medi. Again, one you can easily stay in it. It just depends on what their move is. 5, 6, 7, 8. So they are at, so I just went for the CMP. They are at a Psychic or a Dynamic Punch. I got one off. Now I need to either call a bait or match shields. I call, and it's a Power Punch, which is bad. The Power Punch is the worst one because now, especially that I shielded it, they can now just like counter me down. I actually get both shields out of it, which is nice. The problem, can't come into a Sandslash as double weak to fighting. It's low enough. Ember took this low enough that I can just go Ice Punch anyways. But had Ember not taken this low enough, I would not be able to just go. I mean, this won't take it out. I probably have to do like 1 or 2 more counters to take this out. One more counter. And now they're 2 times boosted, but the Psychic is going to really hurt here. Yeah. This looks a little off here. And this is where, having Powder Snow is way better against all those Lickitungs that you see. Resisted move, take it. One Drill Run's not going to take out. I know that, so I'm just going to go Powder Snow Ice Punch here. Combo this. And out comes a Bastiodon. Get the Drill Run off. I'm going to have to get another Drill Run off and come out with a little bit of energy here. But I don't have time, so I just got to throw a Drill Run here. So get the Drill Run off. Take this out. I need to get to... I do not get to move. I do have a shield. Oh, but I do not have enough health. Oh, that's just unfortunate. Greedent got worse for you because now it knows Mud Shot. So it's faster charging, and it now has a super effective fast move instead of the resisted Bullet Seed move. So this is a bad matchup. And I got a Defenseful. So this is a really bad matchup. So that sucks all around. I do grab a shield though, which is huge. At this point, I can just let this go and probably come in and start countering with my Medi. Out comes a Gligar, and here we go. This is where a super effective Powder Snow puts this very easy. I mean, it probably was a nice punch range anyways, but very easy nice punch range. They're now going to come back in thinking like, oh, I got a great matchup. Not as great as anymore because now I'm doing neutral to you. They're down a shield, so I just went for the nuke here. I don't think it's enough to take out, but I mean, it's not a nuke. It's the harder hitting move. I don't think it's enough to take out, but now it's in Powder Snow range, so I'll come out with some energy. So Powder Snow all the way down. I'm going to double shield because I feel like they're running like an ABB weak to ice, or like weak to a Sandslash. And it is. It's a freaking Gliscor. I knew it. They were going to try and pull out this, wall it with a normal typing, wall the Shadow Claw with a normal typing, and then take this out. But I'm running Powder Snow. So although I do come in and catch this and take it out here, a Sandslash basically just swept this team. Again, it was double weak to ice in the back. And Ninetales did a good amount on the Greedent to start with, but a Sandslash Powder Snow was great there. Ember Weather Ball here. Again, this is one of the things, if I had Overheat, I would definitely, if I had Fire Spin Overheat, this is where I would use it. Weather Ball is obviously not going to do anywhere near enough on a Deoxys. This is maybe one where it actually is probably worse because it's now I'm going to do a little more damage. But like it's already in Weather Ball range, but I still need to do a couple more just to get to Weather Ball. I'm going to go right to CMP here on 5. If they want to keep switching, I'm going to force them to, but I doubt that they will, so they're probably just going to let this go. Out comes a Wiggly, and okay, that is great. They are clearly weak. Man, work on your timing, my man. They're clearly weak, so now I get my Steel on this. That is great. Again, not resisted. I can take a move here because everything's resisted. And I'm probably going to farm up a little bit here where I take a bit more and see if I can get this in Ice Punch range. I don't think I can, but I think I can come out with, like, farm a bit more and come out with some energy. And out comes an A9 with out comes an A9. And hello, you want to talk about when Dynamic Punch comes in handy? Right here. This is exactly where it comes in handy. Getting a move that's 5 faster, but also does 5 more damage here. This 5 more damage comes in clutch, puts it only within 1 counter instead of 2, and now I can counter down on the Wiggly. So, again, Ice Punches, Powder Snows come through, Embers come through, Dynamic Punches come through. You will see some battles where they do not come through and they actually hurt me. And it's basically when Medi gets on Medi. Or I get on like a Lantern with a Sandslash, something like that. I grab 1 shield there. Again, this Ember does add up and kind of forces your opponent into thinking like they need to start shielding because these Embers are adding up. Come in here, get the full farm. They do get another move off. It's not a dig, it's just a Night Slash. So they get the Night Slash off. It chips. Shadow on shadow right there, so it does hurt. And there's your Lantern. Luckily, I've got a shield advantage, and I'm already loaded with energy. This will hurt a lot. They shield. They go down 2 shields. At this point, I'm going to just stand here to get the next one off. I will shield probably, or I'm going to let this go. I'm going to stop right there. Sorry. This is just dad moment. I was watching both kids there because realistically, what I should have done is shielded that because I don't know what's in the back yet, right? Because if this is like a super hard counter to Medicham where I can't do anything, I'm gonna lose. Like if it's like a Shadow Vic, and maybe Shadow Vic I can get an Ice Punch off, but if it's something that just like takes me out, it's very stupid to just go 1 Pokemon with 2 shields. I wanted to shield that one, get the draw run off, have a bit of energy coming out for this back matchup, and a shield advantage. I had 2 kids. Thought I shielded. I did not shield, and I'm like, oh crap, I just lost this game. Luckily, the back Pokemon is a friggin' Dugong, and I have a Dynamic Punch. So getting this Dynamic Punch off, again, there's a lot of stuff here. Week 2 fighting. Not quite enough to take it out, but easy counter range now. I have 2 shields because I didn't use one. So get that off. And again, Dynamic Punch is better for Lantern because it hits harder and it's quicker to get to. So I'll get this off again. And I'm going to get another one off to take this out before they can take me out. So Dynamic Punch, again, coming through in the clutch here. I really, really enjoy using Dynamic Punch. I'm probably going to use it for the rest of the season. Just cover Medicham and Azumarill because those are the 2 biggest issues when you're running Dynamic Punch on Medicham. Sableye Lead. Again, this is an okay lead. The only thing is you now CMP where you were able to outpace before, you cannot outpace anymore. So this is actually a worse matchup. Because if you had Fire Spin Weather Ball, you could outpace to the moves. You're now going to CMP every single time here. So I'm essentially just CMPing and losing the CMP. So I could take Switch here if they let this go. If not, I think what ends up happening is we both get to the move at the exact same time again. I guess they go 665. I go 666. So they will take it, but I thought that's okay because now I can just get a little bit of energy on a Sandslash. They're not going to get to another move here, and that little bit of energy may help me here. So I thought that's an okay way to lose. And now they're thinking, and out comes an A Sandslash and a freaking beautiful catch. Beautiful catch. It doesn't matter in the ending because I now have my Medicham with Dynamic Punch on the Sandslash. But great catch there. I do get to the move, plus the super effective things. At this point, I think I actually let them take me down. Or I just instant swap so I can now get 1 counter through and get ahead on Dynamic Punch. But I don't even need Dynamic Punch when you are a Shadow and double weak to fighting. So I just throw this. I could have gone to Dynamic Punch. The thing is, I know that they're not going to be able to take me out with a move here. So I just threw an Ice Punch to chip and then there's only 2 counters now. I could have just gone to the Dynamic Punch. There's no reason for me not to do that. That was kind of just stupid. Okay, terrible lead here. So Medicham is your safe swap. This is Waddles. I remember this matchup because I played out of my freaking mind here. He played everything perfectly. I played everything. He played everything great. I played everything perfectly here. Tough lead loss. He correctly chips me with Hydro Cannon before coming into Mandibuzz. I get one Ice Punch off. I'm going to get the second one off, which is good here. Just to put it low. The problem is Aerial Ace is going to take me out. That's fine. I'm just going to have to kind of let this go. And they get a couple more foul snarls through before I get to move. So that's kind of rough because now I know they're loaded with energy. At this point, A9 is, Kanto Ninetales is essentially useless. I'm going to have to just let this go. I know that if I chip this here, I can now just either Powder Snow down or grab a shield here. So I go for the chip, they shield correctly. Now their attack falls. Doesn't matter. I still need to shield because Hydro Cannon's still going to do a ton. So we're down to one shield. Out comes a Lickitung. So still bad, just given its bulk. Good in the fact that I'm now running Powder Snow. Get the drill run off because I figured if I land one of those, I now have a better opportunity to bait here. I still shield because I think that my win condition is, which I think I properly recognize is, Ninetales is useless. It's dry and energy. Ember's not going to do anything to a Swampert. I realized my win condition was basically having 3 Ice Punches, right? Take one out, grab a shield, take it out. So I am shielded 1. I'm going to, as much as I can, throw this. I know the Swampert's dry. This will go out, get the Ice Punch off, and then I can get to another one for the win. So I played out of my mind there. It's definitely going into a short, which is basically just a hard counter team. It's not as hard counter because I'm running Powder Snow, but I played really well there. Medicham, again, my best answer for Medicham is probably my Ninetales. So I am staying in here. The Embers are adding up. Now it's I will shield back. The problem is it's a bait game at this point. And they do Ice Punch me. The thing is, like, they're going to have to Ice Punch. I don't think they can get to another. No. Okay, now it's low enough that I can just counter down. Yeah, that's smart. Once I got that second Weather Ball off, it's now just in counter range. So I can take a Psychic, come out with a bunch of energy. Ton of energy. Here for Defense Deoxys. Not like Psychic was going to help me here anyways. Both resisted. So we are just going to Ice Punch this as much as we can. They're going to have to throw anyways 2 because they're not going to counter me down. So I would expect to throw somewhere around here. Yeah, I taking another Ice Punch unnecessarily is not probably the best move. They Psycho Boost though, so that is interesting. I immediately come back in here. What is on the lead that I'm coming back in here? Was the Deoxys on the lead? I come in here. Why did I come in here? I forget what was on the lead. Take this out or grab a shield. They go down. Psycho Boost 4 times lowered will take me out. Still. Actually, no, it won't take me out. But now I can come in here. And here we go. This is the loss. This is one where the move killed me. Powder Snows, double resisted. Drill Run, not enough to take out. Shadow Claws, not resisted. Drill Run, enough to take me out. There's your loss. Perfect example of basically the mirror match on Sandslash and the mirror match on Medicham makes it significantly worse. So lead loss here. Coming in here. Again, Dynamic Punch is neutral, so this is better than Psychic in this situation. A little more damage. A little quicker to get to. Counters are neutral because it's half rock. I will shield up a potential Moonblast here. They are not getting out. They eventually get out. And they know I have Dynamic Punch, right? So they do not need to shield this. Our switch timers are pretty desynced though. So what I may do is try to bank this energy and come back into Ninetales here. We ended up CMPing though, so that's unfortunate. I'm still probably going to come Ninetales. Yep. Just getting that Ember off. I do throw the move. I don't need to throw the move. Well, yes I do, because then I don't want to just be in pure Rock Slide range. Because they're just going to Rock Throw range or whatever it is. Again, I could have got 2 Weather Balls off if this was Fire Spin, but it's resisted anyways. Might as well just go for the Scorching Sands. Now I've taken it out. I believe I don't want to take a... Yeah, I come in here because I figured that I'm going to get to a move. It's still resisted, and I can chip this low enough, force them to throw, that they're now in Powder Snow range. Rock Slide's neutral. It's a Carbink, so I'm still going to have to just eat it. I'm just going full farm down. What is in the back? Superior. You love to see it. Powder Snow, A-Slash is with energy here. Should outpace. It's going to be close because they can just go straight Aerial Ace at this point. But we look like we both arrived at 2 moves at the same time. We're gonna CMP, shield, and I'm gonna win CMP on this one coming back here. So A-Slash, again, I don't think A-Slash's Powder Snow helped there much at all. But yeah, that is it. So in conclusion, I really like Ember. I do like Ember, although I do miss fire spinning and overheating stuff. I do think that at this point, Shadow Ember with Weather Ball and Scorching Sands, if you're going to play Ninetales, is the way to go in this meta. Dynamic Punch, I do personally prefer Dynamic Punch. Man, my things, this is way down to where it's supposed to be. Not even close. What am I doing here? This is just a me thing in terms of, it's already too late now, so there's no point of editing it. Sorry. The Dynamic Punch is better in 90% of the matchups. Quicker to get to, harder hitting. Really crappy on the mirror match with Medichams everywhere. Worse again, you didn't see any Zoom rolls, but like it'd be worse against a Zoom roll, and worse against like Froslass, stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. There are worse matchups, but there are also a lot of better matchups, and you saw a few of them there. Powder Snow, Shadow Claw. I just think because Shadow Claw actually does hit better, and you really don't. You're adding. Here's the thing though with Powder Snow versus Shadow Claw. I think Shadow Claw is the way to go. There's really, and I don't even care about the hitting super effective on the ice, on the grass, and like Gligar, quite honestly, because the grass, most grass moves are going to be grass plus their second move, is unless they have like an earthquake, is going to be resisted on you anyways. And Gligar, one ice punch from a Shadow A-Slash is going to take it out anyways, right? So you don't really need that extra Powder Snow damage. Where the Powder Snow actually is the most beneficial is the Lickitung matchup. Normal typings that would double resist Shadow Claw, where you're now hitting for neutral with Powder Snow, that is where it makes a significant difference. The big trade-off, as you saw in the Sandslash matchup, I had an energy advantage, and we were even health. A Powder Snow resisted, Drill Run did not take them out. Shadow Claw, Drill Run did take me out. So that was the big one. Didn't matter too much in the Registeel because it was still two Drill Runs. But maybe in like other Steel matchups it may matter. I haven't played through all those. So that is the analysis on these moves. So yeah, that is basically it. Sorry for the longer video, but hope this was useful for you. Just confirming that my mic is actually working 34 minutes into this video. Yeah, that is it. So again, I'm filming this in advance. You're probably gonna see, 'cause I'm filming 3 videos in advance for maybe, yeah, the Ultra League, maybe another Great League. I'm filming like 3 or 4 videos in advance, and I'm gonna buzz my hair off, so you're gonna see like long hair, short hair combo. Weirdly, like, what's going on? It's because I'm filming some in advance. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.